Matt Hansen severely damaged the image of Avowed. If it wasn't for his kicking crusty white dudes out of the gaming industry comments and his attacks on people like Elon Musk, the situation surrounding this game would be very different. I'm sure a lot of people would still be pretty skeptical, but there wouldn't be so much controversy and so many people trashing this game in all of the teasers and trailers. But now, of course, we're finding out that just a few weeks before release, they're seemingly nuking the entire forums and community hub for this game, and we're all trying to figure out what they're really hiding and why they want to silence gamers. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, you would think companies at this point would understand what the Streisand effect is, and that when you try to silence people on one platform, they are going to go to tons of others in order to have their voices be heard. And this is especially the case over the past couple of years with gamers. If you try to silence people from official forums or Reddits, we're going to take to X, we're going to take to YouTube, we're going to take to Instagram, we're going to take to whatever platform people will listen to us on, because it is just so disrespectful that companies want to silence their customers. You would think they would have a little bit of respect for us because we are the reasons why they have jobs in the first place, but they don't care about our opinions and they are willing to silence us whenever we say something that hurts their feelings. And it's just really pathetic all around that so many developers and creatives are so soft-hearted. They can't take any criticism, and when we do criticize them, they take it personally and they cry hatred and harassment. And sure, there's always going to be bad apples in every bunch. There's always going to be people that push the limits with what they say and with what they do, but the majority of people are just normal individuals who want their voices to be heard. And now they are actually nuking their Steam page. So if you go on over to the Steam page, of course, if you scroll down on the bottom right, it says view discussions, and usually this takes you to a hub. You can see people with their different threads and chatting, but now when you click it, it just brings you back to the main store page, which I have never seen this happen. I've seen a lot of companies erase their forums and lock threads and delete posts and go on banning sprees, right? But I've never seen it to this extent. And the game doesn't even come out for another month, which is hilarious because they know that they are going to face so much backlash than they already have. They clearly saw all of the backlash that was already going on, but they figured, okay, we're getting closer to release. There's more normies who are not aware of Gamergate 2 and the culture war looking at this page. So now is the time to wipe it, and you can't even go and leave any comments at this point in time. Now, I'm sure that they will open it back up as we do get closer to release, but maybe they won't. I mean, there is also that chance, which would be insane. I've never seen that happen. I've never come across a game that doesn't have like a discussions page or a forum where people can talk about the situation. And I don't think that this is a good look for Xbox, that's for sure, because Obsidian was already taking a lot of heat, and people were questioning why Xbox would allow them to go in this direction, and we already knew why, but it still looks bad because Xbox has had over the past couple of months leaked documents where they have certain guidelines for developers to follow, like, oh, are the women in your game equal to men in strength? Are they in situationally appropriate attire? Like, are they in scantily clad bikini armor? And is that really appropriate for the setting? So there are a lot of guidelines for developers to follow, and Avowed is a game that initially people were pretty excited for because you're talking about Obsidian. It's like with Dragon Age the Veilguard. Before we knew what it was going to be, when they just were talking about it and putting out teasers, we were excited because it was BioWare. But these companies are a shell of the companies they once were, filled to the brim with activists just like Matt Hansen. So I can't say I'm shocked that whoever is behind running the Steam page is trying to silence us, and I'm sure that it's only going to get worse as we get closer to release. Now, basically everybody on the internet that looks at gaming has roasted Matt Hansen and Avowed. I mean, Elon Musk had. Having pronouns in a fantasy video game is utterly unacceptable, and Grums, aka Mark Kernitz, an art director for Obsidian on Avowed, wants to piss gamers off on purpose and confirms the game is woke. It's very rare nowadays when developers do not do things to piss gamers off, and that's sad to have to sit here and say, because I want these devs to do the best job that they can. I want them to come out with really awesome and amazing content, but it's like they want people to be angry at them so they can get some hate clicks, but those never equals sales. Like, all you are doing is pushing away potential customers by saying you want to do things like kick crusty white dudes out of the video game industry and even admit that you're only hiring certain types of people for jobs. I mean, he had said, reminder to Black artists out there who are looking for portfolio reviews or job advice, my DMs are open and you will always have my priority. We got too many crusty white dudes in this field. Please let me help you replace me one day. I want to go back to living in the woods. He has the opportunity to actually put his money where his mouth is and put actions behind his words, and he could just leave the industry. Nobody would care. Nobody would miss you. Actually, I think I'd miss him a little bit because I love pointing and laughing at idiots. But we also have seen leaked Slack messages exposing the toxic environment at the development studio. I've never been more proud. Hey everyone, fuck it up. We lost Grums. This was literally my suggestion. Bug to add pronouns to the menu. I mean, they're talking about how they were posting memes. Yeah, memes, all right, that claim triggering conservative snowflakes was so hot right now. Right about now is typically when a manager at a company owned by one of the biggest tech organizations on the planet would step in, stop the political parade, and tell the team to make better use of the time in which they're being paid to provide a service. But because this is Matt Hansen, none of this happens. Instead, he joins in. This rules, he said, while apparently wanting everybody to know that he uses he, him pronouns. I am fully giddy over it. GG, presumably good going, everybody. It's just so cringe as well to know that a company has people like this that are sitting in Slack messages shit talking potential customers. Like, that is so wildly unprofessional. And after this, all of them went radio silent once these messages had leaked back at the beginning of the December. Like, we have not heard anything about Matt Hansen. We haven't heard anything from any of these activists because I think that they realize how badly they looked and how much they fucked up by even sitting and talking like this in a group chat. I wouldn't be shocked if somebody at Xbox Game Studios was like, hey, listen, guys, you gotta cut the shit. You guys can text each other privately if that's what you want to do, but don't do it when you are on the clock. Do not do it in the internal Slack service. Like, just do not act this way. And it doesn't matter because they still look terrible. I do not like Matt Hansen. I know so many people are no longer going to be purchasing Avowed, and while I do think that there will still be plenty of people playing it because it is Obsidian, there are a lot of people who do not know about like Gamergate 2 and the culture war. I think that most people that are watching this channel or watching similar channels are going to pass on it. It is going to be on Xbox Game Pass day one, so like at least you're not monetarily supporting them, and we know these studios just don't make any money from Game Pass. I will be streaming it because I've talked about it on the channel. It's really only fair I form my own opinion instead of basically just be outraged without giving it a chance. But things are not looking good for Avowed, and now they're going on to silence gamers by completely, it seems, disabling the community hub on Steam. And maybe it will come back, but even if it doesn't, the Streisand effect is going to occur, and there are going to be plenty of people that take to social media to voice how unhappy they are. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.